Neo-Edo, a city of stark contrasts. Bright neon signs pulsed with restless energy. Ancient shrines stood silent, wrapped in shadows. Spirits walked among humans. Sometimes they were seen, sometimes they remained hidden. The air hummed with an unseen power. A delicate, fragile balance held the city together. But balances, by their very nature, can break. This one felt particularly precarious. Very, very fragile indeed. Ayaka Kazehaya lived in this city. She was a young woman. She seemed ordinary, just like anyone else on the surface. But she carried a profound secret, a strange, unsettling ability. She heard voices, not ordinary voices. These were echoes, crimson echoes, she called them, whispers from the other side, from a world unseen. They told tales of sorrow. They recounted stories of deep unrest. A constant murmur beneath the city's noise. Her brother Hiroshi was gone. He had vanished, simply disappeared, without a single trace left behind. The police searched. They found nothing. No clues, no answers. Only a profound silence. A heavy, cold silence that settled over everything. Ayaka felt his absence keenly. It was a hole in her world, a void. The crimson echoes grew stronger after he left. They seemed to call out to her, to pull her towards something unknown, something waiting. Neo-Edo pulsed with a dual rhythm. Its heart beat with advanced technology. Its soul whispered with ancient tradition. Towering skyscrapers pierced the clouds, gleaming structures of metal and glass. Hidden temples, nestled in quiet corners, offered moments of peace. But peace was becoming a rare commodity, a forgotten luxury. The boundary between the human world and the spirit world thinned. It frayed at the edges. Danger seeped through, like dark water through widening cracks. Then came the soul fractures, a new kind of dread, a chilling, insidious phenomenon. People felt it, a sudden, inexplicable emptiness, as if a piece of them, vital and essential, was gone. Their spirits, their very essence, cracked, like fine porcelain dropped on a stone floor. Neo-Edo shivered with a collective fear. This fear spread like a silent, invisible virus. The fractures left victims hollow, lost within their own lives, a creeping darkness. These fractures were not mere accidents of fate. They were attacks, deliberate, calculated, malicious. The spiritual fabric of the city began to tear. Each tear was like a silent scream, unheard by most of the city's inhabitants. But Ayaka heard. The crimson echoes intensified with each new fracture. They carried the raw pain of the fractured souls. A symphony of despair played out in her mind. It weighed on her, a heavy, crushing burden. Within Ayaka, something ancient stirred, a forgotten power dormant for generations, the blood of the Kagutsuchi clan, a lineage of powerful spirit warriors, protectors of the balance. Her ancestors had fought these very shadows in ages past. Now it was her turn. The awakening was painful, like fire coursing through her veins. Memories surfaced, not her own memories, but ancient ones, strong, resolute, demanding action from her. Kuro appeared, a spirit, not human, not entirely animal either. A guardian, fierce, unwavering, loyal. He was drawn to her awakening, to the scent of the Kagutsuchi blood. They formed a bond, unspoken, profound, deep. Kuro understood the spirit world, its dangers and its secrets. He would guide her, he would protect her. They were two souls, united against the encroaching void. A small, determined light against the overwhelming darkness. The path ahead was not easy. It was fraught with peril. Enemies lurked in the shadows. The Shinkai organization, a clandestine group, they sought to control spirits, to exploit them, to weaponize them for their own dark purposes. They saw the soul fractures not as a tragedy, but as an opportunity. Power, cold, hard, unfeeling power. Their agents were ruthless, always watching, always scheming. They wanted Ayaka's emerging power for themselves. The Yokai Council was different, composed of ancient spirits, immensely powerful, deeply wary of humans and their intentions. They saw Ayaka as a potential threat, a disruption to their ancient ways. The Kagutsuchi name carried significant weight. Some feared it, others respected it. The council found itself divided. Alliances were shifting, like sand dunes in a strong wind. Trust was a rare and precious commodity, a fragile, easily broken thing in these uncertain times. Ren Takamine entered Ayaka's complicated life. A detective, sharp-minded, highly observant. He investigated the strange occurrences, the spreading soul fractures. He was inevitably drawn to Ayaka, to the profound mystery that surrounded her every move. Their relationship was complex, a careful dance of suspicion and reluctant, burgeoning trust. He sought concrete answers. She held them. But could she truly share the depth of what she knew? The risks were great. Ren represented the human world, the logical, rational world, the world that struggled to understand, to accept the existence of things beyond its comprehension. Ayaka stood as a bridge between two realities. Her bond with Ren grew, slowly, tentatively. He started to see. Beyond the veil of the ordinary, beyond the strictly rational explanations. He saw her pain. He saw her unwavering determination. A fragile bridge began to form between their worlds. The source of the growing chaos, the Crimson Lady, a powerful, ethereal entity. Her ancient sorrow echoed through the spirit world. Her deep-seated rage fueled the devastating soul fractures. She was a legend, a ghost story whispered by flickering candlelight, made terrifyingly real. Ayaka felt a strange connection, an inexplicable pull towards her. The crimson echoes were strongest when her name was spoken, a name uttered in fear and reverence. Ayaka knew. She understood with a certainty that chilled her to the bone. She had to face her, the Crimson Lady. It was her destiny. The Kagutsushi blood flowing within her veins demanded it. The fate of Neo-Edo itself hung in the balance. Both the human world and the spirit world were at stake. The stakes were immense, unfathomably high. Failure was simply not an option. Yet, fear was a constant, unwelcome companion, a cold hand resting on her shoulder. The confrontation loomed, a storm gathering force on the dark horizon. Ayaka trained relentlessly, with Kuro by her side. She learned to control her nascent power, to channel the overwhelming echoes, to fight with courage and skill. Each step forward was a struggle, against her own doubts, against the ever-growing darkness that threatened to consume everything. Memories of her lost brother fueled her resolve. His smile, his laughter, now gone. The city of Neo-Edo held its breath. The lines blurred further. Human, spirit. What was the true difference anymore? Grief connected them. Shared memory haunted them. Ayaka's journey was more than just a fight against a formidable foe. It was a quest for understanding, for healing, not just for herself or for her lost brother, but for Neo-Edo, for all the fractured souls. The ultimate outcome remained unseen, a winding path shrouded in a dense, impenetrable mist.